When do we talk about the fucking shows and movies? Thanks for the F shot.
I don't know, but these arms are feeling chewed up.
Show me what you got.
We'll drink it if you say. Hey everyone, welcome to Wasted Opinions, podcast style, virtual style, however you want to call that. We are going to be doing fuck, we need to be like the Brady Bunch and get like not 9 of us. But yeah, so we're going to be doing our year in review, but not last year. We're talking about the last time we recorded a preview, which was 2020. Officially,
holy hell, man.
3 years ago, and in fact, we're like a little bit late. It's like mid-January right now, so
we
we're
recorded those like middle of the day kind of thing, and on like a week, yeah.
It was like October or
Like
something.
early December 2019, I think you did.
Maybe, I don't know for sure.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah,
But
time ago.
Hosting this episode is myself, LewisLightning. I guess since it's my screen in the top left there, you got guy with the purple shirt because you probably can't tell.
I don't know who's on your screen next. I'm CountryBoy.
And then down in the center there, in the blue.
MussKeg.
Yeah, you should like reach up like you're jerking us off up there. There you go. Yeah. So
adult episode.
yeah, this is off the rails already.
Oh wait, we gotta thank our sponsor, Honey.
Yeah. Okay. Raid Shadow Legends. But yeah, I guess we're gonna do this virtually, but we are gonna try and keep a little bit of the tradition of a shot. Mine's aviation gin and just straight from the bottle. So bottoms up, guys.
From the bottle, hardcore.
Well, there's not much left, so it's enough for like a couple shots.
Yep.
But yeah.
I'm sharing some of my shot, but it doesn't really work across the screen.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were sharing it with your dog.
I should have done that Wayne Gretzky stuff that you got me.
Oh yeah, I haven't had that stuff yet. If it's any good.
I liked it.
Did he? And then he didn't have some afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyways,
if you guys want, you can go and check out our 2020 year in preview. But I got all the notes here, so I'm going to start. We're doing the video games today. We're talking about the video games. I'm going to start in the order that we kind of revealed them. And first up was MussKeg. So me. I was the first one up. Sorry, I was the first one up. He was movies first. So my number 5 pick, and I'm sure we could all add it. We all had it on our list. But my number 5 was The Last of Us Part 2.
Part 2? Oh, man.
Part 2.
wait, sorry, just remind me, Lou, are these what we thought we were going to like, or these were our, like, ranked my 5th favorite game of the year?
They're most anticipated.
We were looking forward. We had not touched them yet. We were looking forward.
Okay.
Yeah,
just
so
wanted to
most
clarify.
anticipated, I think. Way to describe it.
Yeah. Last of Us Part 2, I was not looking forward to it. I was kind of worried about a lot of things.
Did you cut out there?
Did I cut
out
out?
A little bit there.
Oh.
For a sec, yeah, you did. On my end, you did anyway.
Okay.
Go ahead. Are you still good now?
But yeah, I was looking forward to it, but I had reservations. And actually, I feel like it pretty much was exactly what I thought it was going to be. A little disappointing in a lot of ways. That makes sense.
I remember when you made your list, I was like disappointed at your list. I was like, how the hell is it number 5?
Yeah.
It should be like 1 or 2 at the very least.
Do we want to like maybe go through the list quick first before we like discuss them?
Sure, we could do that.
Everybody's
like, it's just I know we all had this.
Like in The Last of Us, for example, Part 2, we would all be
all of ours.
It's on all of ours, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you just want to discuss as we go, or
we'll save we'll kind of leave the ones that we all have, and we'll discuss those more at the end. So yeah, we'll just stop discussion on that one for now. My next one, my number 4 pick, was Streets of Rage 4, which I actually enjoyed a lot. It was one of my top games for that year. I enjoyed playing it. I'll go back and play it now. I like it a lot. Simple, old school fun, just as I remembered, with updated graphics. And I know they put out more content for it recently, which is just great having that support with more characters and stuff. I really like it. It just brought me back to being a kid when I was playing my Genesis.
And that's the same dudes that made the recent Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, right?
It's half the same team. I think it was Dotemu and another publisher, but like only Dotemu, or I don't know how you pronounce it, only that team went on to do the Shredder's Revenge. The other guys that were associated with it, no.
I don't know if it's just me, but you're cutting out a lot.
Your microphone's cutting out. I don't know if you have like
Yeah.
volume leveling or something going on.
It almost
maybe
seems
with
like
it.
you might be talking too loud and it's like trying to cut you off or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're not plugged in very well. I'm not too sure. But
I'll
there is
double
like
check
when I'm
that.
talking, then it'll kind of stop and then it'll
No,
come
I
back,
don't.
so.
I don't necessarily think it's a plug-in. I think it was. If I'm guessing, it's maybe a setting you have on your microphone that does like balancing.
Well, I lowered it a bit. Maybe it is redlining a bit. I don't know. We'll see.
By the way, we can totally edit all this stuff out too.
Yeah,
yeah.
In intermediate talking right now. So
Yeah, sounds
We'll just
good.
keep all this.
I'll just adjust those levels.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Streets of Rage 4 was my number 4. After that, Cyberpunk, which we all had on our list, so we'll wait a bit about that to talk about it. I know me and MussKeg both had Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines Part 2, which is still not out.
Greg had it on his list too. I didn't know that. I couldn't remember that.
Well,
Okay.
I'd actually never even played the first one, but I saw some playthroughs of it,
yeah.
and
Funhouse played
I was
it,
like,
didn't
"Oh, this looks pretty good." And then I saw there was another
Yeah.
one coming out.
Yeah. Like, I think this game was... They started working on it, and then they just like started a rebuild at some point, like a year or two ago. So I'm a little bit worried about it. And then they put out a bunch of like, there's like a multiplayer game you can find that's like based around the series, and it's like, okay, where's the main game that you wanted to put out? So I don't know what's happening with that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Watchdog Legion was my number 1 for the year, 2020, which I had fun with. It's kind of a good like sandboxy type experience. You can go around and recruit different people. Like fucking, I recruited like an adult film star. And he's like my assassin going around killing guys, but he's famous. Like all these guys in the street will stop you and be like, "Oh man, I loved you in that film." It's like,
Was Watch Dogs Ubisoft?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
Would
over,
you say out of the Watch Dogs, is it your least favorite maybe, or middle of the road?
yeah, it's probably the least favorite. Like it was what everyone was kind of saying. Like if you don't have a solid story built around 1 or 2 characters, just a bunch of randoms, like how's that going to be a good in-depth experience? And they're right. It wasn't really that good or in-depth. So
that's the problem.
like the gameplay was fun. I just wish that they had something deeper for a narrative.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Then I think, CountryBoy was last. So we'll move on to MussKeg's picks.
Saving the best for last.
Can't wait to see what I picked.
Your number 5 was Super Meat Boy Forever.
Oh yeah, I don't think
How was that
came out.
How was it?
I don't even know if it came out.
Is it a sequel to the first Super Meat Boy?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe it was like DLC or something.
And that's what I asked in the video too. I was like, is this a sequel or is this a remaster? And you're like, nah, it's a sequel.
I'm interested. I don't want to look it up now because then I'll be on my phone looking it up. But yeah,
You never played it, obviously.
Yeah, aside from you mentioning it there, I haven't heard anything about it otherwise. Like no one else.
I haven't either.
In the
but I
gaming
don't
world,
think
probably.
it's out. I don't think it's out either. But
That'd be weird because it's not like I don't think it would require a lot of development, but.
Well, it is. It's a small team. I know. Like it's an indie.
Yeah, that's true. I
indie
guess.
game.
Yeah.
So it's like that Fez game took forever to come out.
Yeah. His number 4 pick was Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I don't know if you have anything you want to add to it. It's a game that didn't come out.
I did download the first. I did get because it was free. I think one of the monthly games free in PlayStation. So I did download Vampire. Just haven't played it yet. Not Bloodlines, obviously, but.
Okay.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe I'll have played that by the time the next one comes out.
Yeah.
To be determined whether it's good or not. Huh?
Or kind of maybe following the theme of your third one, maybe it's dead and it's got skull and bones.
Oh,
Skull
a
and
timely
Bones.
a timely topic.
Oh wow.
What was it? That was supposed to be released in 2018.
Oh man, that game was released ages ago.
Yeah.
It's been in development for like 10
Yeah.
years now.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
You know, like I said, we were talking amongst ourselves, but it really makes me worried how, if something like that's ever going to come out, and even if it does come out, what you're going to get. It feels very cyberpunk-ish.
It's a great fucking concept for a game. Like, I could easily
for sure.
see the three of us playing that, like, multiplayer Pirates on the Sea having our own ship. That'd be fucking amazing.
It sounds really awesome, but just the development hell it's been through these last how many years, and the more I hear about it, the less I even care.
Yeah. You have to wonder, a game that's that old, like, can it have kept up graphically, technically, all these things that are going on
That was
since...
the thing, right? Like, I think John said they might have even started making it in PS3.
Yeah.
PS3.
And they did, because they made it after Black Flag, which is a
Yeah.
PS3 game. They started it there.
Black Flag was like right between. I know. I think I have it for PS4, but yeah, like it came out between the interim years.
Yeah, it was cross-generation, that game.
Again, we all have this on our list. Cyberpunk 2077 was your number 2.
Yeah, and I've started it.
You started it, yeah.
God of War got in the way.
That's getting in the way of a lot of stuff.
As it should.
As it should, yeah, as it should.
And then number 1, I mean...
And I'm still excited for it. I just want to say that. It's from like the little bit I did see, I'm like, this actually seems pretty nice.
You might actually have a much better experience than I did. Like, I played it right out of the gate, and I did not like that.
Because I loved, I don't know if this is similar, but I was a big fan of the Deus Ex series.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you play. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be the
They
similar,
seem
right?
similar in a way. So yeah.
Very Blade Runner-esque.
It's exactly what you said when we recorded the preview, John. Blade Runner-esque.
I'm not being but consistent, I guess.
Is it more like Blade Runner, like the original, or the new one?
I don't know. You cut out the last
Yeah,
second
the
there.
last little second there kind of.
I'm wondering if it's
Blade
my
Runner, the original.
cable.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Stop
Anyway,
moving.
okay, I'll stay perfectly still. Your number 1 was The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, I mean, yeah. And I, thinking of the list and what I'm hearing so far, it would be the number 1 for me of the games I've played so far.
Well, we can, like I said, we'll talk about that when we get to the end
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So, Country Boy, you're number 5.
Yeah.
Originally, you kind of went with an answer that we didn't really care for. You were like, it's going to be that PS5 game that everyone wants.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Well, because we were talking about what was our most excited games, and I was most excited for whatever, even if I didn't know what it was, whatever the PS5 was going to have, because I knew I was getting a PS5. I was like, that's what it is. It's a marquee PS5 game.
I mean,
but you didn't like that answer.
But
so
okay,
I changed it.
if you had kept that, what would that game have even been?
Well, at that point,
Astro's playthrough.
it probably would have been Astro's Playroom, yeah, because Miles Morales was cross-generation, so that wouldn't have counted. And Returnal didn't come out until the year after, so it would have had to have been in Astro's Playroom, really.
But we like I said, we did not like that, so you went with Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, which,
Nice.
spoiler alert, is probably my favorite game of that year. It's probably the number 1 game that I loved, because that combat was just so freaking satisfying. It's just
Beautiful game.
amazing.
Beautiful.
Fluid as hell, and yeah, beautiful. Like, just great. I love the graphics of that game.
Like I love.
I'm surprised I was the only one that had it on my list, actually.
Like
Wow.
doing the haikus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the serene moments like that, you know.
Yeah,
petting
I
animals.
actually kind of meditated a little bit when I did those haikus. Like, I did what she said.
Yeah. Breathe in.
Well, we've all played it, but at the time I was like still really iffy about the
I never heard of
combat.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had only seen, I think, what the E3 trailer had to show, and
And
that we were like not sold on.
what other games is that studio known for making?
Infamous
Studio
series.
either.
Infamous, Sunset Overdrive.
Sly Cooper.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive, Sly Cooper.
And sorry, what's the name of the studio?
Sucker
Harmonic?
Punch.
Sucker Punch. Yeah.
Sucker Punch. Yeah.
But yeah, like one thing that I've never been a fan of, and this did it all right, was I hate games where you change your stance for different effects or bonuses, and that was
I
kind of...
like that.
I actually liked it in this game because it was so easy to do too. I loved it.
I'm
It
never...
was great.
I know what you're.
I'm like, oh, there's a guy with the shield. I gotta get the fucking shield stance. Oh, there's a guy with like, a big spear. I gotta change my stance. It was great. I loved it because you didn't need to. You could still beat him without that stance. It was just you were more effective that way. So I thought it was great.
Like I said, I'm never a fan of it, but this did it in a way that I was still really okay with. But yeah.
You cut out for a second there. You ghosted in a way that what?
You're gonna do subtitles for yourself when you edit this.
I'm never a fan of that, but this one did it all right.
Yeah. I liked it.
Then your number 4 pick is Marvel's Avengers.
Oh man, I mean, I can't even say it's a disappointment because I never played the full game. I only played the demo or the beta that came out, and we played that for a few hours there, Craig. You and I know, and it wasn't fun. It was just grindy and repetitive, and
smash them up.
Everybody was basically as strong as the other person. Like the Hulk was basically as strong as freaking Black Widow, and how is that fucking fair? That makes no sense. So that's not what I wanted for an Avengers game, and I never planned on getting it after I played the beta. Which is what I'm glad the beta came out because it made me know it wasn't worth my money.
I was always cautious on it. I think at the end there, the community in general was just shitting all over that. Like so many people hated that game.
Yeah. Apparently it got pretty good. It actually got better once they reworked it a little bit. They did some updates.
And that's what a lot of online games are. Like even with Fallout 76, kind of thing. They tweak it and they make it a lot more playable later on. But originally when it comes out, people are hating on it. So, too bad.
Your number 3 was Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, and that's a game. Because I know you guys talked about it a little bit, but it was so buggy when it came out. I was like, I'm not buying this until it's ready to go on the PS4 or PS5. I don't want to play with all these bugs. And even now, I haven't played it yet because I'm waiting. Well, you know what? Maybe when it's like really discounted, maybe I'll get it. Or maybe if I get it free, even maybe I'll get it. Because I'm just like, it's an open world game, and I love open world games, but they really suck so much time, and I don't have that anymore like I used to. I want to play it. It's just I'm not jumping to get into it anytime soon.
Like I said, I played it right out of the gate. It was glitchy, the glitchiest game I've ever fucking played.
You played it on PS4 though, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest
I'm pretty
problems.
excited. So I'm not worried at all for it to be glitchy because
But
I think they've had more than enough time, and I got it on the PS5, right? So
I will say, even if it wasn't, the story I did not give a shit about at all. Yeah. So I don't know if it would save it for me.
I hope it pulls me in. Maybe we'll see.
Your number 2 pick, Country Boy, Doom Eternal.
I honestly thought that I had played this game before I did this list, but I guess not. Doom Eternal is great.
It sounded like you just played Doom before you made this list.
Maybe I did. But yeah, Doom Eternal was fun as hell. Like that is fast paced. Got like the hard metal going the whole time. Just bloody, it's just carnage. It was a fun freaking game.
It's not a long game, right?
Not super long. No, you could probably play it in a couple of afternoons.
One that I hope maybe I can catch for free one time or something like that, and I'd probably be just a fun one to knock out on a weekend.
It's
almost
super fun. It's like the old school Doom, if you remember old school Doom, but it's just like ratcheted up to 11. You know, it's crazy carnage and just fun. It was great.
Yeah. The only, like, for me looking at that, like, I always thought it looked a little bit arcadey. Like you walk in. Yeah, it is. I see now. You walk into. I can see my thing. I am dropping out. I don't know why.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, like it seemed very arcadey. Like you walk into a room, kill all the enemies in it, and then move to the next room.
But that's not a bad thing. It's intentionally arcadey. Like it wants to be arcadey. Like a lot of my favorite games are very arcadey games. Like you play a Mortal Kombat game, it's totally arcadey. Or if you even like the Burnout series, that's very arcadey. The way you like take down cars and stuff like that. But it's fun as hell. It's just meant there to like please the eyes and trigger fingers, and it's very fun.
Yeah, I just say that as like I don't want to just be like, okay, each room is a challenge to get through. Like I want like a narrative.
That's my kind of concern about it though. Is, and like I said, I do think I'd play it if I got it for free or something. But it seemed like a game that could get pretty repetitive pretty quick. Like,
But-
okay,
and
run in,
I
pull
never
this
got
guy's
sick of it,
eyeball
though.
out, run in.
The
Okay.
thing is, even if things do repeat, every room has its own like different obstacles, and every bad guy always has like either levels up or has some other obstacle to fight. It was always fresh. Even every room you went into, it was always fresh. I never felt like I was like, oh, not again. It was fun the whole way through.
And then your number one. I mean, I think you know it.
Last of Us 2, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't say that it's not a good game. I still think it's a really good game, but it wasn't nearly as good as I thought the first one was, and I thought it's kind of overhyped by all the people like winning all the Games of the Year's awards. Maybe it was kind of a slower year. Maybe that's why it won those awards. But it was what it was. It just
It's
wasn't.
still a good
It
movie,
didn't live up to my expectations.
right? Like, it's still a good movie game. If you
Yeah,
consider it.
in a way.
Like I think
And obviously, it's
like-
got a series on HBO now. So
for the combat, like on a technical level, I think it was great. Like I have no complaints in that regard. However, like some of like the way they set things up, like do you remember that point where there was like a bunch of like landmines or booby traps set up like around this toll booth type area you're going through, and it was like, oh my god, like I can't, can't rush through because you might get blown up, and then you're worried about even if you defuse them, you might alert someone in the area to come and get you, right? And that there was,
Were
Yeah,
you
vaguely
Abby
remember.
or Ellie during that part?
I think you were
probably would
Ellie,
have been an Ellie moment. Yeah, I'm guessing.
but yeah, like
I vaguely remember that.
there was like tons of explosives all over the place, and you get through that one area, and then there's like almost never booby traps again. There almost never booby traps again the entire game.
Yeah, just as one
It had some
section.
really cool parts. So, like, what about that part where they're almost on they're in amongst the skyscrapers, and they were going along, and you fall
Oh
off
man, yeah,
the
yeah.
I-beam
Wish you
thing
got
and
the vertigo.
into the pool. Yeah, that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
I don't remember that.
And
at
you know
all.
what? I because Abby had vertigo and she hated heights. She was with that little Asian dude. I forget what his name was. Kyle or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
with the
Abby.
shake
I was thinking Ellie still. I was thinking Ellie.
Oh, no,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
and,
Abby,
then- And then just there was moments there I was like, oh crap, this. I didn't want to move any further because I was actually like scared for my character. Like when you're in the apartments and you're going level by level down.
yeah,
down,
that
and
one.
there-
That part
and, like,
was freaky.
And there's those ones that are like part of the wall sometimes, and
Yeah.
they totally get you. Like, oh, son of a
Yeah.
bitch! Like that actually got me. Like, damn it, I don't want to go any further because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh.
I was actually like terrified for my character. Like, I wasn't personally scared, but like
Yeah.
I didn't want my character to die. I was like, no, I don't want to go.
And that was like a good example of they did that in the first one with the whole you got to start the generator up in the dark
Yeah.
kind of pit. So
Or
similar
similarly,
vibes.
when you're in the hospital and you're in the basement and you got to turn on all the generators,
Oh
all the
yeah, yeah,
lights,
yeah.
and then the very end you got to go after the Rat King one,
Yeah,
comes-
yeah.
and you got to fight that thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was another cool moment.
I agree on the Rat King part. The other part, I thought that was very formulaic. I just thought it was actually pretty easy. What is going on? I don't know why it's cutting out.
I don't know, man.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, just so you know, I'm almost positive. Like if you go into your Discord,
Yeah, no, I'll say my biggest disappointment about that game though was it made me actually hate
Spoiler.
Ellie, and I loved Ellie in the first game.
yeah.
I absolutely Ellie was like my favorite character. I think I don't know, but maybe I like Joel a little bit more, but Ellie was awesome and she was a great companion, and I never was like annoyed by her. Whereas in the second game, I was actually pissed off at her, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I wanted her to die. I did.
Yeah, I mean, big spoiler alert here, but I didn't like what they did with Joel. I just didn't. If you wanted to do that, do it later in the game. Like, give
Yeah.
us a little bit more time with Joel instead of doing that right away.
Yeah,
That
narratively,
Well,
kind
then-
of just put a bitter taste in my mouth.
Then we
for
wouldn't
the whole
have
game really.
the whole thing was about like switching it up between Ellie and Abby. Then
I
we
know.
probably wouldn't have had that. That was
I
the
know.
whole
Yeah.
idea.
I
I
know.
like I said, the gameplay great. Narrative, I did not care for. Like I hated Abby from the moment she kills Joel. you're gonna hate her. And then they want you to play as her. Fucking every chance I got, I ran off a cliff into a bomb as her just to kill her. I fucking hated her.
And that's honestly that's what fucked up for me is I actually ended up liking Abby at the end of the game more than I liked Ellie.
What do you guys think of the whole farmhouse bit?
I don't know. I think Naughty Dog has a tendency to maybe do epilogues, extend their games a little too much nowadays. Like they're like, okay, we had a good game, but let's give you a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. You're like, okay, I'm ready for this already to be done already. And that's kind of what the farmhouse kind of started like that. And then you play a little bit more as Abby, a little more as Ellie as well too. I was like, okay, the game could have been done.
That whole sequence when you're like basically infiltrating a cartel mansion near the end, kind of thing. Do you remember that one? That part?
Yeah.
That seemed a little like forced.
Didn't need it.
It felt tacked on. It felt tacked on. It did.
And like the epilogue stuff at the farmhouse really made me feel like a lot of the stuff we did was not worth it. Like it didn't seem like that this is the ending that she deserves.
Like,
I'll say what.
Doesn't
why I really
Dina
hated
like
Ellie.
leave? Doesn't Dina like leave her?
Yeah, well, that's why I hate Ellie's because she had this perfect life. She's living with Dina. They have a son together, and then she's like, "Nah, I still gotta go get Abby. I gotta go kill this bitch." And she takes off, and she's like, "Come on, you already had this life, and you're giving it up." I was like, "Fuck you, Ellie. I'm done with you."
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, we talked a lot about this one game.
Yeah, I think that's where we can leave it there. Maybe we could cover Last of Us Part 2 at some other time. I don't know. But yeah, I guess we'll sign off here. If you want to tell, I guess I'm the LewisLightning on YouTube if you want to find me, and on Twitch, the LewisLightning. Sorry, this is over here with Purple Roadman.
CountryBoy_9 on Twitch, Twitter, PSN, and on YouTube. Check out some videos of mine that I might do some unboxings. Yeah.
And then down below,
self-plugging. I'm just kidding.
down
That's what
below.
this is all about.
Yeah.
Find me on Twitter, Twitch. How is that not
YouTube,
self-plugging?
everywhere, MussKeg.
All right, yeah, thanks for joining, and we'll be back with movies.
With better audio.